Hi guys, and welcome to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. I really do appreciate it so very much. Welcome, my name is Aiden. Today I have a video that I'm pretty excited about because it's all testing almost all of the fragrances from a house that I've been really interested in trying. So I have the Floral Street, this is their Discovery Set. This was $19 at Sephora. So you can pick this up. It has all but two of the scents that they have in their house. The two that they don't have is Electric Rhubarb, which I already owned a spray of. It is a spray, which is really nice. And then the other one in the line is Arizona Bloom. I don't have that one, unfortunately, but I have all of the other ones. I've obviously smelled this one because I've had this one before, but I haven't smelled any of these. I've been saving them. I'm very excited. This is a niche brand, and they are available at Sephora. I think they're also available at QVC if I remember right. And yeah, I'm really excited. So their packaging is supposed to be more minimalistic, and I think they're supposed to be clean as well. And they are cruelty-free and vegan. It says it on the back. So in here we have London Poppy, Wonderland Peony, Neon Rose, Wild Vanilla Orchid, Iris Goddess, Chypre Sublime, Black Lotus, and Ylang-Ylang Espresso. So we're going to start, I'm going to start with the one that I have tried before. We're going to start with Electric Rhubarb just to get it out of the way. Also, if you have not already subscribed, if you wouldn't mind considering subscribing, it would mean so very much to me. Also, don't forget to leave me your opinions on this house down below if you've tried any of these, and don't forget to give it a like because that always helps small YouTubers out. I really do like this one. This is not like any of my other rhubarb scents though. This one is a much sweeter rhubarb. The other rhubarb perfumes that I have definitely a sharpness to them. You know, they're very tangy. This is not. This one is very sweet, and it's not sharp or tangy at all. It's very nice, and I have worn it a little bit. I think this is a better summer fragrance because it is pretty sweet. Yeah, so I do like this one. I think it's good. But if you're looking for a rhubarb scent, this doesn't really smell like a true rhubarb to me. All right, we're gonna move on to the cute little set that they have in here. The first one that I am pulling out is London Poppy. Ooh, on first sniff, it smells very peppery, like almost masculine, which is weird. If I smelled this outright, I wouldn't think this was a perfume. And I'm going to try to put all of the notes down below here so that you can be reading them as I'm trying to sniff and decide what my thoughts are. This is not a fragrance that I would wear at all. And I guess I was getting confused with Coach Poppy because when I hear Poppy, that's what I immediately kind of think of because that was such an iconic fragrance. It is mellowing out a little bit. It's not quite as sharp, but it does have like an edge to it. And I'm not sure what note that is. I just barely opened this set, so you are getting my very first impressions. This is not one that I would like under normal circumstances. I'm going to set that one aside and move on to the next one and kind of see what I feel. We'll revisit it, see what it smells like when it dries down, because sometimes they will vastly differ. Oh wow, okay, so this next one is Wonderland Peony. This is super sweet. This is, yeah, it's a very sweet floral, but I don't know if you've realized with some perfumes that are florals that they don't really smell like florals. They're just so sweet that you're like, what is this? And I don't necessarily I don't match flowers with sweetness in my head, and then I smell something and I'm like, wow, yeah, this one is super sweet. It's very pleasant. It's very pretty. It's fading quite quickly though. I feel like I'm either going nose blind to it already, or it's just really, the first burst has already started to subside a little bit. Yeah, I like this one, but this is, let's go back to London Poppy. Nope, it's definitely, that one I can still smell very sharply. Yeah, this one is fading really, really fast. That is so weird. I've never experienced anything like that. It was like this huge burst that was really big in your face, and then it just kind of dissipated. The next one in the set is Neon Rose. So let's give this one a spritz. I've heard a lot about Wonderland Poppy. Not necessarily reviews, but like heard people talking about it. And I've heard a lot about, I'm pretty sure this one. Okay, this one is very rosy. It's very pretty. It has like some earthiness to it. Almost smells like dirt, which is, but in a very pleasant way. Like that doesn't sound very good when you say it, but it is very pleasant. Yeah, this is like a fresh green rose. Like there's some greenery in there, there's some dirt in there. This is another one that I want to kind of revisit here in a minute. But yeah, I do like this one. This is very unusual. I don't know if I would like wear it. So far, none of these are ones that I would want to buy like a full bottle of. But I think this one is very interesting. I wouldn't mind having like a purse spray of it, depending on how it wears on my skin. If you're new to my channel, most of the time these samples, I put them in my sample Saturday, so it's kind of a series where every Saturday I talk about the samples that I've tried out that week. So I always put in the title what brand. So if I have a perfume, you will always see like a designer house in there, or like Floral Street, so that it kind of marks that I am testing out perfumes that week, because I don't test out perfumes every single week, but I do quite a few weeks. So if you haven't subscribed, do so, please do so, and look for that series if you are just here for perfume content. Ooh, this is Wild Vanilla Orchid. This is interesting. This is very interesting. Like, I get the vanilla, and it's a sweet vanilla, but there's also like kind of the Atelier vanillas that are more of a dry vanilla. They don't smell quite as sweet, but they kind of have that vanilla, if that makes sense. But there's also something a little off-putting to me. It's a little masculine leaning, but not really. But there's like that undercurrent of a note that I associate with men's fragrances. I tend to like softer fragrances, more sweet, more florals. I like this one. This is another one that I wouldn't mind having like a sample or a purse spray of. I don't think I would go through, like, it's not full bottle worthy for me at this moment. Yeah, that London Poppy has kind of dried down a little bit. It's not quite as strong, but it still definitely has that same scent profile to it. So yeah, London Poppy is not my favorite, but I do think it's interesting. This one is very interesting. We're gonna go back to Neon Rose. It's developing, it's getting prettier. I don't smell that like dirt note anymore in that Neon Rose. All right, the next one is Iris Goddess. I don't usually go for iris fragrances, but this one is kind of pleasant. It's also smells very like almost like a chemical. This is going to sound weird, but you know, like sometimes there's chemical fumes and they're obnoxious, but they also are kind of pleasant. That's what I'm getting from this one. I know that sounds really weird. It kind of reminds me of like back in the day when we were given rubber glue for projects, and like it was really obnoxious smelling, but it also kind of smelled good. It doesn't smell like rubber glue, but it's that kind of a feeling. I kind of like this one too. So far, the only one that I really don't like is London Poppy. But I don't think this is a full bottle worthy one for me either. This is the one that I struggle with saying, Chypre Sublime. Why does that word, like, I can say it in my head, but trying to make my mouth form the word, it's struggling. Ooh, this one smells more old-fashioned compared to the rest of them. This kind of harkens me back to some more retro fragrances, and I think it's because of the category it is. It's much lighter than what I've smelled, but it kind of reminds me, I don't know exactly what it reminds me of, but it kind of is familiar smelling. This isn't one that I would necessarily wear. This and London Poppy are not fragrances I probably would wear, but I think it's interesting. It's very strong. It's almost reminds me a little bit of like Chloe, the original Chloe from back in the 70s. Like that type of a fragrance. So hopefully the notes will help you, because I'm doing this completely blind so that I don't have any like prejudice as I'm going in, other than the names, obviously. Yeah, I kind of like it, but I think it's going to be too overpowering, and it's probably going to be one of those ones that I'm going to start feeling a little nauseated as I go throughout the day, because that happens to me with some of my really strong fragrances. I start to feel a little ill if I can constantly smell them the whole day. We're going to smell that Neon Rose again. Yeah, I do really like this one. This one is really pretty. Yeah, Neon Rose. Neon Rose, I think, is a winner. Next we have Black Lotus, and I have no idea what to expect with this one whatsoever. The hardest part for me is like trying to aim and hit the strips. Does anybody else have like that issue? I feel so nervous that like I'm going to like overshoot or not hit the strip. This one is very strong. This is one that I am not planning. I can't see myself testing this one at all. It smells kind of burnt to me. Yeah, I'm just getting like, it's very dark and it has kind of like some burnt notes to it. Oh, it's not pleasant. No, I don't like that one at all. All right, the last one that I have is a Ylang-Ylang Espresso, which I'm kind of excited about because I really do like coffee, and espresso sounds really good. But before I smell that one too closely, I want to smell the Vanilla Orchid. This one has really mellowed out, and I'm getting more of just a vanilla, like a warm vanilla type scent. So I think that one's nice too. All right, Ylang-Ylang Espresso. This one is weird. I'm getting some coffee, but it's almost like playing hide and seek with I'm assuming it's the Ylang-Ylang, because it's kind of there, but it's kind of not, and it sometimes, like, as I move it, it comes and goes, which is weird. I was hoping that this was going to be like way more coffee, but it's not. I have other coffee fragrances that I prefer much more over this one. I don't dislike it, but I'm not in love with it either. I'm going to come back and sniff that one again here in a second. I'm going to think about what I would rank them, and then we'll tell you my favorite to my least favorite from my first impressions. So I really wish that I had Arizona Bloom, but I haven't found a sample of it yet, and I didn't want to buy a purse spray of it because this was somewhere in the upper 20s, maybe $30. And I did get this one when it was on sale. So I do try to only purchase when things are on sale. So if I'm looking at them, I would say my favorite probably is Neon Rose. I liked that one as it dried down. It was just very interesting. And it's definitely one that I could see like wearing on a more regular basis. Then I would probably say my least favorite is easiest. I'm going to kind of go back and forth. My least favorite is very easy. That would be Black Lotus. You saw my reaction. It was not pleasant. It was not a scent that I enjoy whatsoever. So it is definitely one that I would not purchase. My second favorite probably is Electric Rhubarb. I don't regret getting this one. I do like it. It wasn't quite what I was expecting. I was expecting something a little bit more sharp, more tart, but it wasn't that way at all. But I do like it. So I would say this is my second favorite after Neon Rose. Looking at the rest of them, my second least favorite, so Black Lotus was my least favorite. My second least favorite was probably the Chypre Sublime. It's not a scent I would wear. I didn't find it overly pleasant. I'm not sure. I'm going to test it on my skin, but it's one that upon first sniff is not something that I like to wear, and I don't think it will probably wear well on my skin. I feel like I'm going to be a little miserable the day that I try it out. In third place for myself, I probably am going to go with Wonderland Peony. I did really enjoy it. I think it's a nice fragrance. I just am interested to see how it performs on the skin and how long it lasts, because that is something that I'm a little concerned about, since it seemed to be so in your face and then kind of dissipated so very quickly. I was not expecting that at all. The third from the bottom is the first one that I tried, or the first one from the set, and that is London Poppy. It's not a fragrance that I would enjoy. I don't know if I'm going to test it out. I might, sometimes I test out a fragrance in the evening, and so that way that it's not on for a very long time, I might give it a test that way and see what I think. But London Poppy is definitely not one that I plan to purchase in any form. Next up in the favorites list would probably be Wild Vanilla Orchid. I did like it. I think it's a nice fragrance, but I don't think it's anything groundbreaking. I don't think it's anything vastly different from what I've smelled from other places, or from what is even probably in my collection. I have such a crazy collection. So I did like it. I think it's a nice one, but it's not one that I can see myself really running out to purchase. Rounding out kind of the bottom is going to be Ylang-Ylang Espresso. I didn't love it. I mean, it's not completely unpleasant. It's another one that I'm not sure if I'm going to test it on my skin and like give it a full day's wear, because I'm not sure if I will like having that smell on me all day. It's not as unpleasant as some of the other ones. It's not bad, but I don't think it's for me. Which means that right smack dab like in the middle of all of these fragrances is Iris Goddess. I think it's kind of interesting. I think it's different. It's nothing that I wouldn't wear, but it's nothing that I would be like really excited to wear or think about wanting to rush out and try. So that was kind of a crazy way to explain it. I was struggling trying to figure out where I would rank all of these. Yeah, very, very interesting first impressions. Let me know if you've tried any of the fragrances from this house. Let me know if you've tried Arizona Bloom, what your thoughts are on it. And I hope you're all having a fantastic day. Thank you so much for stopping by, and I can't wait to talk to you next time. Bye.